Hey, welcome back. So for this video, we are on the second exercise for advanced part design, and we will be creating this tool right here. So to go ahead and get started, please create a new document. And we are going to quickly delete this assembly one item right here. And we're going to rename this to read tool. Okay, so at this point, let's also start a sketch on the top plane. And we will call that top profile. So a new sketch. And this name will now be top profile. So in this situation, we're going to draw out 1, 2, 3, 4 circles and 2 lines and a construction line. So notice that the origin will be in this location here. So let's try it out. So here's our first circle, our second circle, another circle, another one. All right. So now let's draw out our construction line. This is going from the center of this circle all the way over here. Here are 2 lines. And actually, I messed up this one. We don't want it horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Let's put another line. Make it a little bit more angled. There we go. And we'll do the same with another line below. So we also want to add a polygon, starting at this center and touching the edge of this circle here. Oops. And let's click there. And we'll fix this right now. So the polygon, we need a 6-sided hexagon. Go ahead and do that. The size of this circle is going to be 2.25. And before we continue, let's check our units. We should be in inches. So let's redefine that size again. And that was 2.25 inches. So let's zoom back in. So the distance between this point right here and this other point right here will be a value of 1.5. Notice the small circle and the small circle are the same size. So let's go ahead and add that dimension or that equality. So the circle is the same size as this one. And then this circle is the same as this one. Okay, now we can add that other relationship for symmetry. So we click on this line, the bottom line, and now the construction line. There we go. So now the distance between this point and this point will have a value of 7.5. And then the angle between this line and the construction line will have a value of 5. Notice the other line below adjusts because it is symmetrical to the line above. The radius of this small circle and the other circle on the left will have a value of 1. And it looks like we have our measurements. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measurements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measurements. We're good to go. For step 3, we're going to extrude this feature. So let's go and look at it in this view right here. So let's accept all the changes. We're clicking extrude, and we are extruding the top profile. And here it is symmetric. And this will have a value of 4 inches. So you notice the sketch is now in between or in the middle of the actual extrusion. All right, so for step 4, we're going to go ahead and create this line down here. And we'll add this construction line right there. I'm going to set it right here and go down like that. It'll be vertical. But I want to make this coincidental to this point right there. So I already have that line, that dot selected. So now I'm clicking this line. And there it is. Good. We can move on now. All right, so let's start creating this line right here. So notice it cuts through the origin, it goes down and then out. So there it is. We don't care about the length right now. We'll cut it down right there, go to an angle, and we'll add some dimensions to make this a bit nicer. Okay, so this point is 1 inch away from the center line. Angle between this point or that line and this line will be 150 degrees. The height between this and this is 1.5 as well. Notice I click the 2 lines and we accept our changes. So now for step 5, so that we don't do all of this work twice, we're going to go ahead and offset it. So let's go back to our sketch 1. Let's click offset. We're clicking these 3 lines. And we're going to reverse this direction and go up. And let's zoom in, click on the value, or a value of 0.75. So now we also need to add lines here to close up this segment, and then another line here. And then we click accept. All right, so it looks a little bit awkward, but this works. These dashed lines are just saying that this figure is within this solid block here. So if we look closely, it is right in the middle of our drawing. So for step 6, we are now extruding what we just did. So let's go ahead and click on extrude and click on sketch 1. Okay, so we are going to select intersect and then through all. And second end position. And this is still going to be through all. Notice we have this piece missing here. It's not rounded. So now I'm going to click through all one more time. And the merge scope is with our tool. So we didn't rename this. We'll rename it right now to change that name. So click accept. Name this right now. And this will be called tool. For step 7, we're adding fillet to these items right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So let's go ahead and do that. Fillet. And we are selecting this line. It's right here. Piece. This corner. Now we're rotating. There. There. Let's flip this object. And we have all of our edges selected. So now this will be circular and with a value of 1 inch. Go ahead and accept. All right, so at this point, we're going to add another set of lines going across like this. So let's go ahead and do that for step 8. In this case, we are creating a new sketch on the front plane again. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, so now we add our lines going like that. I'll finish right there. It doesn't really matter where, but as long as our 2 lines are horizontal, we have this diagonal and then this other horizontal. Okay, so now for the relationships, let's show constraints real quick. So let's click on our symmetric tool and we're going to make this symmetric with this right here. So notice it just changed. So notice it moved a little bit, and then we'll make this symmetric to this line here. So at this point, let's go ahead and hit accept. And just a reminder, since these dashed lines are just saying that they're inside of our objects. Now for step 9, we are going to use this split feature. So let's go ahead and do that. And we are selecting all the faces on the left side and the right side, or the front and the back. So split is right here. So let's select faces, and let's click all the faces. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 faces. And we will split it with our line or our sketch number 2. And then go ahead and hit accept. Now for step 10, we're using the draft tool. So the draft tool is right here. We're going to select parting line. And we want to select the top plane as a pull direction. And now the parting edges will be the edge of split 1. By fillet, we want to reverse the direction. We want to make sure it's two-sided. And the draft angle is 15. 15. So let's reverse the direction. And there we go. So this is what we're looking for. So at this point, let's go ahead and hit accept. Now for step 11, we're going to use a fillet feature again for the top and bottom edges. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're selecting this specific edge, this bottom edge down here, this corner, and this corner, this other edge, and this other edge. And then this edge with the bottom edge below. All right. And we want this to have a radius of 0.125, tangent propagation, circular radius. There it is. Now it's a little bit more rounded. And we hit accept. We are using the chamfer feature to edit these four figures here. There's a chamfer feature. Go ahead and select our entities. So let's just go ahead and select all of these edges. Whoops. We'll select the bottom section of the hexagon as well. And then the two circles here. All right, so it's going to make it look a little bit nicer. And we want a value of 1 divided by 32. It's already set in there, but if you want to type this in, write out 1 divided by 32. And there it is. So now go ahead and accept that. And there it is. Let's zoom in to see the changes. I'm going to go back and now forward. So now for step 13, we're going to change the material that we're using. So let's go ahead and select tool, right click, select assign material. And we're going to be selecting steel. So just go ahead and type that out. Selected the wrong one. Just want pure steel. There it is. And click accept. So at this point for step 14, we're already finished. So what you're going to do is go ahead and click on your tool, highlight everything, and then select mask properties. And you'll be using this to do the self-check. So anyways, thanks for watching and try it out.